Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to SimTrax Broadcasting. This is Patrick Morrison coming to you live with the USORL League. Joining alongside me tonight will be Douglas Ross Jr. We'll bring in here just in a second, but we want to talk a little bit about this racetrack here tonight, this 1.3-mile track of Nashville Super Speedway. Concrete track. Everybody says that we shouldn't be making tracks out of concrete. I personally enjoy them because of the amount of grip that you can achieve out here at a track like this. Definitely appreciate you guys joining us here tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you can chat with me out there. Obviously, it looks like Davey Hazard, Bill Harkins, and Jay have figured it out. Appreciate it, guys, and away we go. Right now, we are during our warm-up here. This will give us just a moment to take a little bit of a look at the qualifying times that these guys were able to lay down tonight. Take a look at what we've got. Luke Smith, Trey Coleman, Davey Hazard, and J.J. Moore will be in our front two rows here tonight. And, man, I tell you what here, Douglas, this is a tough track, and I think a lot of guys are going to have some problems possibly coming out of turn two.
Definitely, we've been watching in the practice. A couple of drivers have been getting really loose when it comes to the turn two entrance and exits, so that should be playing a factor into tonight. But otherwise, it looks like these cars got some speed in it tonight.
Yep, Kerry Rogers already hitting fourth place during his during the warm-up time here. And what this actually does is allows the drivers to take a little bit of time, figure out a few extra pieces of the track as the temperature begins to change ever so slightly out there on the track, and what it's going to do to the race car. Now, guys are going to be able to make slight adjustments out there to figure out, okay, that wasn't the qualifying time I needed. They'll be able to pull off a little bit of tape on the nose of these cars and get back out there. So really, you're going to see the ones I would say that did not qualify very well are actually going to be coming in clutch later on here. All they can do is make a 10-minute quick adjustment out here, and I would probably say a lot of them are making big adjustments, seeing how those times did come out. I know Hen Bordeaux sitting in the 26 Ford out there. I believe she's out there riding around. There she is in the 26. Well, I've got to say, not a great qualifying time, but is looking to sit in 8th right now here during the warm-up. So a couple of things are going to be changing alongside here tonight, so we'll see how all that plays out later on. But let's go ahead and take a look at what this tonight's race is. 8 miles an hour wind, and of course 71 degrees out there on the track. I would say, brr, that's cold. It's going to be very tough for these tires to stay hooked up, but for 150 laps. Of course, they'll have 3 sets of tires, so you get a little bit of a change here. So they're really going to have to time when they take those tires. If you kind of break it down, we try to do a lap 50, lap 100, and then maybe have an extra set around 135 for a late race caution. That could be possible, but with a 67 fuel capacity out there, that's going to be kind of a little wiggly out there. They're going to see how they can do. Of course, no faster pairs. So, Douglas, you've raced in faster pair leagues. You've raced in non-faster pair leagues. Talk to me about how critical that is.
It can be critical to some drivers, but it also is depending on the skill level when it comes to a lot of drivers. And when I mean skill level, I mean drivers who have actually practiced on the track for most of the time. And I believe that there are a lot of drivers here tonight that have practiced this track and have expected the cold temperatures to come out.
Yep, well, definitely. And with no faster pair, it requires these guys to be a lot more careful. There's not really a mulligan, per se, to wreck out there and come back together. I knew there was one league I had a little conversation with that was a no faster pair league saying, can we just put it on the super speedways? Because when you get tied up at Talladega, man, oh man, you hate going out there lap 6 and you're ruined for the rest of the race and unable to return. They did change it a little bit and put only one faster pair for the super speedways, but these guys are feeling pretty gutsy here tonight. They're going to take it along as we're taking a look at Zachary Webster out there in the 95 Ford. He's knocking down some fantastic times here during the warm-up here in 5th spot. We'll be getting to our grid here in about another 45 seconds. Bill, once again, appreciate you joining us out here. I figured you'd be asleep by now since you wake up so early. But we are here for the JEG 200 at Nashville Super Speedway. And I tell you what, man, I've raced on this track before. Douglas, I know you've raced. Kind of what's your take and what is the key for these guys to be fast and make it to the end here?
Basically, it's going to be all about patience, and especially with these Xfinity cars, you have to remember these Xfinity cars have a lot more power in it than they do like a Craftsman truck, even a next-gen car, because I know the next-gen cars have restrictor plates on it and restrict the speeds, but these Xfinity cars have got some power in it, so it's going to be all about throttle control when it comes to getting in and out of the corners.
Yeah, 100%, and also looking back at it, when we compare it to the next-gen, the next gen can kind of ricochet off the wall, and that it seems to be a very firm body panels on a next gen. You can kind of bounce off the wall and still be okay. I've had problems with the Xfinities. You nudge the edge of that wall, and that fender almost peels up, and you've got nothing but trouble for the remainder of the race. You almost have to fix the amount of damage that you have on the front because the aerodynamics are so critical, especially at this track.
Yes, definitely. And I can also tell you this, with having 3 sets of tires and with all the loose conditions, it's going to be very, very interesting to see how this plays out with only 3 sets of tires.
Alrighty, well, we get ready for Nashville here. Definitely no country music going to be playing here tonight, but we are going to have somebody in the front who might remind you of some country music. Right now, Luke Smith will be starting in the front row here. Not to be confused with Luke Bryan out there, but starting in the number 1 spot next to Trey Coleman in the 14 Chevrolet. That's who's starting in the front row, followed by a couple Toyotas here of Davey Hazard and J.J. Moore. Fast time there out of Davey Hazard. I expect to see him up front, top 5 all night. We'll see if he continues on and if the track changes is going to cause him a problem. Blake Viken starts 5th, and on the outside of row number 3 will be Zachary Webster. Garrett Sidnor. Got it there, Stella, if you're out there watching. Garrett Sidnor sitting in 7th, and Cam Barnes is 8th. John Peterson, we'll notice him out there in the famous 43 machine. You'll notice him out there. There he is. Not bad out there in the 43, starting in the 9th spot next to Kerry Rogers. Rogers, remember I said he was having a faster time out there during warm-up. Let's see if it transfers into the race. Austin Hakes, late race runner. We'll see if he kicks in the high gear as he starts outside the top 10. And now Noah Joyce on the outside row of row number 6. Moving on through to the final little bit, Henrietta Bordeaux will be starting in 13th next to Zach Kostowski. Steven Merzlak, I remember right, saw Merzlak out there with an awesome paint job out there tonight. Yep, and the Sim Rap Market number 71 Chevrolet. And then Darren Ingram will be starting in 16th. William Page, Joseph Weaver, and Adam Hoagland will be starting at the end of the field here. Boy, they got a lot of work to do to fight their way up to the front. I'm excited to see how this race gets kicked off here. But 150 laps, you can't win it on lap 2.
You definitely can't win it on lap 2, and green flag is right now flying, and we're going racing here.
Excellent job there. Right now, let's go ahead and get kicked off already here for the JEG 200. Luke Smith, Trey Coleman, side by side heading into turn 1. 14 getting loose. Trey Coleman unable to stay hooked up. That's going to send him 3 wide here coming out of turn number 1. Hold on to it there as the 76 and the 18 squeeze on Bly. Blake Viken starting to notice his rear view mirror starting to get pretty clogged up there of Garrett Sidnor sitting right behind him. Luke Smith driving away with this one. He's enjoying the fresh air out front as the rest fight through the dirty air that he leaves behind. And already we've got a couple of guys shifting up, some falling down. Sidnor moving up 2 here on the night. William Page is up 3 already, sitting in 14th.
14th indeed. And oh boy, we got a big humongous wiggle from J.J. Moore. He is starting to lose a little bit of ground now, and it looks like Moore has a little of rear damage after that contact.
Yeah, 43 of John Peterson is around. 84 machine into the infield here. No caution, oddly enough, out here tonight. Not quite sure why here, but hopefully we'll see if this comes down to a caution. I'm assuming because they're off the racing surface and out of the way, no problem will be... No protest, actually, will probably be filed here as we rotate on back. Luke Smith is getting ready to lap him here in a moment. Right now, I think Adam Hoagland may be down. He had to tow. That looks like a complete obliteration of his machine out there. We'll kind of stick with our guys out here on the track for just a moment. And I do want to take a look and see what happened to John Peterson here as he went off the track. Let's take a quick look here. 43 getting a little loose here. I do see him wiggling just a hair. Oh, on around. Oof.
Oof.
Yeah, it looked like Hoagland may have had problems way before that. We'll see what happens here. We'll rotate back here through the field. As Hoagland was almost 4 back from the dead end of the field. Yep, and just loses the same spot. But that's that turn 2 we talked about. Hoagland's going to be down and out here, and I think he may have taken it to the garage already here tonight. So we got 1 down and out. And we're going to stick back to it as Luke Smith. That is him chasing the tail end of the field, unfortunately, so soon here on lap 5. So right now, Luke Smith, Davey Hazard, Garrett Sidnor, Blake Viken, and Trey Coleman, who sat in second, has fallen down to the 5th position. Just about everybody here in the top 10 within 2.5 seconds of our leader here as we get lap number 6 underway.
Number 6 is getting underway, and as we can see, everybody from 12th on back seems to have been getting single file. Actually, as it looks like we're getting a pass for spot number 8, and that was William Page going past Cam Barnes for the number 8 spot. And it looks like everybody will be single file going to the start-finish line.
Yep, looking back from William Page's number 42 Ford here. We are looking back at Cam Barnes and Noah Joyce going at it right now. Very tough turn here. If there's no oil on the track from the slip and slide we saw before, that should work out A-OK. Looking to see if Cam Barnes is able to squeeze out. He does, able to keep calm, cool, and collected. Let's take a look at him. Yeah, not bad. Looking like Cam Barnes seems to have this thing under control in the all-black suit. All right, back out on the track. Very single file we are out here. We're taking a look again. Looks like Kerry Rogers is looking around just a little bit in the number 12 UPS Ford. 12 UPS Ford is taking the shot here. Simrat Parker Machine and Merzlak is now coming into play. Right now, Merzlak has gained 3 here on the night. So is Darren Ingram, the 21 Toyota that sits behind him in 13th. But he is way out of the screen, about 1.3 seconds behind. He's going to be playing chase. But right now, Douglas, check this out. Luke Smith out to a 2nd lead in front. Seen it before here at a concrete track. Will the tires hold on to maintain that kind of a lead?
Let's get into that time right now, probably where the tires are going to start breaking in. Even with the cold temperatures, it does take a couple of laps for those tires to gain a little bit of grip in them. As we've seen back in lap 1, there was no grip on any of those tires, but now we're 10 laps in. Those tires are definitely going to have some grip in it now.
Oh yeah, well, finally tacking up and staying attached to the track here. Notice how everybody seems a lot more firm out there, but still single file racing. No one really trying anything here. As I say that, Steve Merzlak takes a look to the outside. Excellent turn here as, oh man, Kerry Rogers getting a little bit loose heading around this next turn. Hate seeing that. As I said, Kerry Rogers, that was actually Noah Joyce in the Sunoco machine.
A couple other people are getting loose too. I seen a little wiggle come out of Blake Viken in the 18, who is currently doing battle right now with, I think that's the 14, Trey Coleman.
Yeah, Trey Coleman still working on the inside here. Coleman, remember, he fell from 2nd down to 5th. He's looking to battle at least 1 spot back. Viken holding on tight though in the number 18 machine. He's trying to see if he can hold on to it here. Diving into the treacherous turn number 2 here. That's going to be the big choice, whether they're going to be able to pull through. Backs up the turn for the number 18. He should have the turn exit speed here. Might be able to make it clear, but still does not as they come across the start-finish line. Not bad. Lap does go to Blake Viken, though, in the Toyota. He squeaks on around, puts Trey Coleman back where he thinks he belongs, and Austin Hakes now coming into play. Austin Hakes in the 28 Toyota now starting to push along the side here, looking to see if he's got another angle. As we hop on aboard Austin Hakes here, we see the 14 start to slide on by.
14 is starting to slide on by Austin Hakes, and right behind Hakes, Zachary Webster now trying to put himself into the picture.
Yeah, not bad. I would definitely attack at the same time as well. When these two guys go back and forth, when one person is able to get on through and got him in bad shape, you've got to attack. And right now we are seeing the number 95 come into play here, almost sticking his nose in there. Just wants a little bit more as we kind of take another peek at it from a different angle. No can do. It looks like the 28 of Austin Hakes is going to have to go back to the drawing board and attack him in the next few turns.
In the next few turns, and everybody is staying single file going down the front straightaway, and it looks like JJ Moore is trying to try and track down the 39 of Luke Smith to try and get back on the lead lap, and he is definitely fighting to get back on that lead lap because here he comes on the inside.
Yeah, well, he's definitely going to need to get back on that lead lap here. He came down on lap number 6. Spent over 1 minute and 25 seconds in the box. That's already going to slide him by. That gets one of his laps back. 3 more to go. He's going to need a bunch of cautions to get that wave around there, and I guarantee he's definitely happy to get at least one. Unfortunately, that does leave John Peterson still a lap down as well. So Peterson will be our first lucky dog around if he can get there. Very, very tough here. Move back up to Zachary Webster, who sits in 7th. Right now we are sitting with definitely an easy plethora of cars with a Chevrolet in the front, Toyota of Davey Hazard sitting second, and Garrett Sidnor is up 4 positions, sitting third in his number 54. Not bad here by the Loves machine. Sidnor has been having a great time here tonight, does not seem to be losing any sort of control out of that machine, and I don't think he's looking to slow down at all, but he's trying to maintain, I think, the longevity, especially how concrete is on these tires.
Yes, most definitely. And I can tell you right now, if I was Davey Hazard right now, I would want that 76 car to be my best friend right now, because he is definitely probably slowing down Luke Smith with that dirty air, and that is definitely something Davey Hazard wants to see to make up the ground he lost.
Yep, Hazard hanging out there in the back, still maintaining about a 1 and 1 1/4 second deficit off the lead here. Moving on back to Webster yet again, as it looks like William Page is now on the attack. Page here looking to the outside. Whoa! Almost goes ahead and gives that ally wall a little scrape there as the 95 machine cuts him off. Takes a little bit of wind out from behind him there as we are moving on the lapped car of John Peterson. Peterson in trouble here as he's trying to stay out of the way. Although staying at race pace, he can stay on the racing surface. Once you start getting way below, or you're almost a detriment to the field, they do ask you to pull off. I give it to Peterson. He's still out there racing. Looking good here so far. Everybody working on around that damaged race car. But as we shift down the backstretch here, guys are still trying to find another route around. It just doesn't seem to be finding anything here until this track begins to rubber up. The more rubber we start laying down here on the inside, the little slicker it's going to get, and they're going to be looking for that grip once again. So we may see cars getting down, touching the paint here early in the race, and you'll slowly see them start fading up toward the wall, trying to find more angle and more speed out of that race car farther into this race that we go. But lap number 19 is underway, and right now, Douglas, so far so good. Only one fumble up here early in the race.
Definitely one fumble, and I could definitely tell going through the field, it looks like we are having clean green flag racing. Everybody's staying single file and being patient.
Yeah, look at this number 42 here, William Page, starting to give Zachary Webster something to think about. He gives him a little nudge coming out of 3 there as he pushed on around. It doesn't seem to be any sort of fight out there from Zachary Webster. Doesn't look like he's really putting up much, like I said, much of a fight here. As it just seems like Zachary Webster is running his line, but William Page is saying, you know, I want around you. Zachary Webster saying, I'm going to run my race, so you're going to have to find a way around me, and I'm not going to make it easy. So excellent job here so far by Zachary Webster, holding on to 7th, although he did start in 6th here tonight.
It's definitely, and it looks like we're also having the 14 car of Trey Coleman. He's trying to track down the 18 of Blake Viken to try and gain that number 4 slot. And even in the back of the field, it looks like another car was trying to make up some ground. I'm trying to see who it was. Another car we haven't talked about was the 60 of Joseph Weaver, who was also trying to make some ground up.
Yeah, right now Joseph Weaver laying down some solid times of a 30.9. He is going to have to pick up a few tenths here if he wants to start reeling in Darren Ingram and Steven Merzlak. Merzlak is out in front by 2 seconds over top of both these guys. And right now, Darren Ingram in the double mint car, looking to see if he can, how he's going to come up with that sort of speed. I would say aerodynamics is going to be key, but as he's lost the draft here, it is starting to work. Ingram has a great turn there, picks up almost 2 tenths, and now starting to reel in the field. So I think if Joseph Weaver and Darren Ingram can work together, Ford and Toyota, that hopefully they should be able to fight back up front, grab a hold of Steven Merzlak, and rock on up to the front where Kerry Rogers is. Now, Merzlak is not in a great boat himself as he's got Kerry Rogers in front of him. Rogers only ahead by over a quarter of a second here, but still running a great race here tonight. Started 10th, still remains there, but really, what can Brown do for you? He's got to figure out how to get up to the front and start to deliver here, or otherwise he's going to be falling off pace here really quick, as Cam Barnes and William Page are doing just that.
Yes, most definitely. And as we're actually focusing on Joseph Weaver, we're actually getting really racy up here for spots number 7 and 8. As Zachary Webster, he's still holding off William Page, but Page is starting to lose his patience a little bit as he wants by Webster.
Yeah, I think the mellow yellow machine is getting ready to give him a helpful nudge here if he doesn't get out of the way. Either we're fuel conserving and he's trying to hook to his bumper here, or that's just him just getting agitated here. I'm still waiting As notice how the 42 is able to dive into that turn so much harder. And it doesn't look like we're giving up any sort of room here, as I see the 18 and the 14 are going at it again. Viking and Coleman. Right now, Coleman looks like he's got the better spot here. He's got it. Gaining one position back from his original fall off here, Douglas. And right now, this is fantastic work. But do the guys continue to flow underneath of him? Doesn't look like that's going to happen, as it looks like Trey Coleman cuts him off. Whoa! Cuts him off one more time. And the 18 almost making contact there. That was close.
Yeah, true. Oh my God, Trey Coleman, he almost took the front bumper off of Blake Viking, and oh, contact with the wall. Viking's starting to lose some ground now.
Yeah, Viking rolling back to 9th here, as it looks like they forgot to turn on the lights here at the track. This is going to be pretty tough, as it looks like we're starting to dim out a little bit. Hopefully they start warming up and coming alive here, or drivers are going to start getting lost out there on the track. Notice how the mellow yellow machine is Zachary Webster is not looking to slow down at all here. The 95 taking a look on the outside of Hakes. Now Hakes hasn't been under fire here for quite some time, as Hakes pulled away out there in the 28. He's now been reeled in. Coleman's gotten around him, and now Hakes is in the mix. So where does Hakes come in and get out of there? And does the 95 of Zachary Webster get off this outside line, because he is in a lot of danger here? With the machine sitting right to his inside of the 97. Finally, single file here, Douglas, and it almost gives these guys a chance to breathe. And as I say that, 97 rubs the edge of the paint, bounces up. 97 and the 95 machine going at it. Ford and Chevy going at it on the backstretch.
Cam Barnes, he wants that number 7 spot from Zachary Webster, and it looks like he
18.
manages.
18 in the wall, 28. Lap number 28, he smashes into the wall here, gets extremely loose. We saw him on the corner of our screen. That may do it here for the 18 of Blake Viking. Looked like a little air came off the nose there, and that might have undone him.
It looks like it. I'm about to go back and watch the replay right now of what happened, and it definitely looks like... Hold on one sec. Oh, it may have been a little help from the 12 machine. Kerry Rogers, he may have given him a little help.
Yeah, we're seeing if we can follow along here, looking at the 18. Looks like a good view from here. See if we can get a little bit closer. Heads into the turn. Whoop. Whoop. And right there. Bam. Into the wall. Actually gets the front wheels off the ground. That's a bummer. All right, let's go ahead and get back live here as we see the number 18 of Blake Viking working his way down pit road. That is definitely going to be a heartbreaker here for him, as he is heading down and may be done for the night. I don't know if that steering wheel is crooked there. We'll definitely check in with Viking and see if he's okay here in the infield car care center, if that machine is destroyed here tonight. Let's get back up front to Sidnor, who's sitting third. Right now, still following along with Davey Hazard and Luke Smith. Holy cow, this guy's really putting on a clinic so far. Over a second and a half ahead of the rest of the field here, as as everybody else here in the back seems to be having the battles going on between 5th and 10th place here tonight. There's a lot of shuffling going on.
Luke Smith is definitely on cruise control mode going into turn number 3 right now. He gained a lot of ground. Right now, the battle for second is going to be heating up between Davey Hazard and Garrett Snyder.
And Bordeaux now pitting, oddly enough, this early into the race on lap 32. Don't know if we're having a fuel system trouble or maybe a tire wear issue. Heading down, so Hen Bordeaux will now end up going a lap down, now sitting behind Peterson. Peterson now still out there on the track, holding on, as he ended up with a boatload of damage after that lap 2 spin out there through the backstretch infield. So that was definitely a horrible wreck. Didn't see a caution, but that is now twice we've seen things happen out here at the track. Contact with the wall that ended up with a boatload of damage there from Viking, and then we also see John Peterson and Hoagland go at it into the infield. Still no caution. So hopefully these guys are able to calm it down just a little bit, but we're noticing a lot of aerodynamic issues out here of guys holding on to these turns and not trying to overdrive it here. But that is definitely tough here, as we see Austin Hakes looks like he might be checking out a little bit for either a little bit of tire saving strategy, which he does very well. Outside line for him, but it looks like he's going to give up not one but two positions here.
Ooh.
If Cam Barnes and William Page slide on past. Douglas, you're getting a front row shot at this, man. How's it looking?
It's looking really, really racy, and I can tell you these three drivers of Cam Barnes, Austin Hakes, and William Page, they are not having any of it whatsoever. They want that position, and we almost had three wide action going on in the front straightaway. That's how bad these guys want it.
Yeah, as we get in the Michelin chopper view, we do take a look over top of the 42 machine. Now it's sliding to the inside. Hakes loses a position to Cam Barnes, kind of salutes him as he goes on by. William Page now looking to fight on through, and now Zachary Webster might be taking a peek. 42 is yet to make the clear here so far. 95 does a good backup of the turn, where now 12 of Kerry Rogers will be coming into play here momentarily, but only lap 36 here. You're starting to question, hey, we got a couple of guys pitting, some against their will here, but is it starting to come time for, should we start worrying about tires here in a little bit, you know, in the next 10 to 15 laps?
Yes, definitely, and I can tell you, I'm definitely surprised with how long they managed to run the tires now. I mean, we're going on lap 37, so green flag pit stops have got to be coming around the corner real soon.
Yeah, it does make it tougher, though. We've only got 3 sets of tires to the end of the race. If they were to try to divide it up, the best shot we'd be looking at is about 40 to 45 laps, if they can make it. Seeing we're sitting at 37, time is coming. Now Sidnor working his way down. That is our third place driver going ahead and checking out. Steven Merzlak is working his way in. Joseph Weaver, and it looks like Darren Ingram. He joined pit road, and he's already working the double mint machine on out. Waiting to see where Zach Krostowski, if he chooses not to, he does not. So the Wendy's machine in the number 4 Chevrolet continues to stay out. 9th place for him, but that's only for a moment. And our big question here, who has not been saving any fuel, is going to be Luke Smith, who still remains out in front. Davey Hazard comes on down. Coleman coming on down. So is Luke Smith making his bed here, and he's going to have to lay in it as he is off his best time by 1.2 seconds. This could end up undoing his race here, but we'll see if if he's able to squeeze out probably a couple more laps. I expect Luke Smith to come on down in either this lap or the following.
Green flag pit stops are starting to take place, and as we just judged it, Luke Smith looks like he's coming down.
Yeah, I don't blame him. He wants to be pretty quick coming down pit lane here. Yeah, Luke Smith has been having a couple of races here lately. It haven't been too hot. And now he's hoping to have a better race here tonight. Cam Barnes, William Page, and Zachary Webster now take the helm here in the top 3. As we enter lap number 40. So as we divide this one up, it's going to be tight. 40, 80, maybe 120 is what we're looking at here. I think it may be some of the strategy that these guys are playing out there. William Page coming on down. Mellow Yellow Machine, whoa, locks it up right there at the end. We'll see if he ends up with a speeding penalty.
It looks like he might be in good shape. I'm not seeing any black flags, so it looks like he's safe. Beautiful.
All right, 4 drivers have yet to pit here so far. 3 of them are in the top 3, and John Peterson has yet to pit. I'm impressed. A lap down has yet to pit. I think he was hoping for a caution so you get that lucky dog on around. But I tell you what, a caution comes out now. That's going to be disgusting.
Yeah.
I would say here, Douglas, taking a look at this race kind of from a 5,000-foot perspective here, we have 3 guys out there who have yet to pit in 42 laps. So now we're starting to see a little bit of that longevity of the fuel tank here. If they can hold on, if they can manage. Now, yeah, if this ruins their race on timing of when they pit, but we are also noticing how far these cars will go.
I think that's what some people are banking on. I think somebody like Cam Barnes or Zachary Webster, I think they might be trying to play the strategy game, just trying to get the tires to go as long as they can go before they get really worn out. So I think a couple of drivers tonight we're going to be seeing a little strategy play come into play.
I think it would be excellent to see maybe on the final pit stop that somebody has tires that are 15 laps on the fresher side than everybody else and going out there and just kind of weaving through the rest of the field. But as I say that, Mr. Barnes, Mr. Webster, and Mr. Rogers working his way on down pit. That's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Does John Peterson come down? He may have 1 lap left in him here as he's passing our leaders out front. Waiting to see if he can get just the squeeze here. And that may be him fighting to get back onto the lead lap. That should put Sidnor into the lead here once he slings past pit. So Sidnor finally getting his lucky break here in front of Luke Smith. And the first time that Luke Smith has seen anything in front of him other than a lapped car. So right now, we'll see how Luke Smith handles the aerodynamic challenge here of sitting behind Garrett Sidnor in the number 50 Ford, who continues to lead the race here so far. He's happy about it. He's calm. But we'll see if what his crew decided to do, as they had a top 5, about almost a top 5 start here, and he's kind of taking a peek at what his car will do out in the front.
Not too far behind Luke Smith is the 75 of Davey Hazard, trying to get up and get into that battle as well. And way, way, way far back, we see Trey Coleman in the 14.
All right, let's see if we can grab a giant measuring tape here and find him. About 2.5 seconds off. He's got to make up to catch back up to the rest of the field. I would say he's probably going to be camping out here for a while, as Trey Coleman has been under fire here for most of the night. He'll be 2.5 seconds in front and 2 seconds behind right of anyone around him. Hazard out front, Merzlak behind him. So it looks like that Chevrolet is going to be kind of playing games with himself and talking to his spotter to keep him awake, as no one else is around him. But it looks like Luke Smith is starting to apply the pressure here to Sidnor. Sidnor just hitting his marks, doing a great job here so far. But the key is for Sidnor to run his race. He came in 2 laps earlier than Luke Smith, so Smith does have the upper hand on tires and fuel here. But whether or not Sidnor starts mirror driving, that might be what we're starting to see now. As you notice, Sidnor is starting to kind of weave a little bit, heading down the front and back stretches here to make sure he's blocking.
Yeah, Sidnor definitely doing a good job on blocking Luke Smith. As they are doing that battle, I've also been watching the guy who is in spot number 3, Davey Hazard. He is loving what he is seeing right in front of him. As those guys are battling it out, he's coming.
Yeah, the more they battle out, the more Hazard does gain ground, but it would say that 39 is taking another peek. As Chevy Camaro is trying to see if he can get back into the lead here and get the most laps. Ooh, little wiggle out of Sidnor and Smith coming out of that last turn. We'll see if this is going to be the same song and dance here from the rest of them. Hazard doesn't seem to be gaining any ground, though, as these two aren't side by side. So I would say they are starting to try to put some distance on the field, but as soon as we get side by side, that'll be the time when Davey Hazard needs to attack. Very spread apart this track is here, and I'm waiting to see if that's going to be kind of our number out there of what's going to happen. If anybody else is going to find anybody out there on the track. As we poke back to William Page, I do want to take a look at 44. He's in the mix a little bit with Darren Ingram sitting right in front of him. Now remember, Ingram, he came in on lap 36, I believe. Yes, he did, for 4 tires and fuel. And William Page came down much later on lap number 40. So we'll see if that tire game does work, as Page is saying, you know what? Let's go ahead and cash in a few percent on this right front. Down to the inside he goes and slides on around him. Fantastic job. See a couple little backfires out of the side of that car and back under it. Let's get up to the front. Luke Smith making a shot. Here he is to the inside, Douglas. This is looking really good for Luke Smith.
It's looking really good for Luke Smith, and he is definitely going to have the grip ground down on the inside there. I can tell you right now, Garrett Sidnor, he's definitely not going to let him have it that easy, as they are still going side by side down into turn number 1.
Sidnor wants to hold on to it, but Luke Smith does have the upper hand here on the low line. Seeing if he can find any more to it here, as it looks like Sidnor is trying to see if he can give him a nudge here. No can do. 39 machine's going to work around. Hazard did decide to attack and take his deficit and cut it in half, waiting to see if the 75 Toyota is going to play in the mix here. Not bad by Hazard, as Hazard is finally coming alive, looking to see if he can mix it up here, as we are now 1, 2, 3, Luke Smith, Sidnor, and Hazard.
Hazard definitely wanting that number 2 spot from Garrett Sidnor, and Luke Smith looks like he will settle back into spot number 1. Trey Coleman is sitting in spot number 4. William Page in spot number 5. Steven Merzlak sitting in spot number 6. Darren Ingram in spot number 7. Austin Hakes in spot number 8. and Barnes in spot number 9, and rounding out the top 10 will be Joseph Weaver.
All right, sitting on lap 53 here. Would like to give a shout out there to William Page. We've had our eyes on him a good bit here tonight. I think the reason why is he started in 17th tonight, sitting top 5. Not bad here by William Page in the yellow machine. He's going to continue his roll on through. Steven Merzlak has been following him through, and I would say Darren Ingram. These two have been locked in lockstep here, as these two have both moved up 9 positions here on the night. So starting way outside the top 10, they've been able to fight their way up to the front here at the Jeg 200 at Nashville Super Speedway. Fantastic job here so far, and Douglas, I appreciate you joining alongside me tonight. We're going to cut away here for a little bit of a crank it up session here for just a moment. We'll be right back. Alrighty, everybody, and we come back to Kerry Rogers in the number 12 Ford, going ahead and making the pass there on Joseph Weaver. Weaver, unfortunately, on his 6th position gain here tonight, he's actually on the roll backwards. Looking to see if Joseph Weaver has a little trouble with that machine. He did pit on lap 37. Should have been a little earlier time than everybody else out there, other than Darren Ingram, who came in on 36. A couple of guys have been, I would say, shifting it around a little bit, waiting to see where some of these other ones kind of chip in a little bit, as it looks like Anne Bordeaux is sitting 14th. I know we've seen a little bit of her out there racing, and I'm not mistaken, Jay out there in the chat, if my memory serves me right, this should normally be a Baskin-Robbins machine. It looks like we're with the TWB Airlines Ford out there tonight. I do appreciate everybody joining us here, and Douglas here. So far, man, we are coming up on lap 60 next time around. Sid Norris has fallen off, and unfortunately, it does not look like he was able to keep pace here with Luke Smith as he continues to lead this race. Fantastic job here so far. But kind of what's your takeaway already through this first stint?
I can tell you what, my takeaway is I'm noticing when the tires seem to be getting some grip in it, just Luke Smith seems to find his groove, and every single time those tires have been breaking in, he's been finding it.
Yeah, well, early on in his run, it doesn't seem to be happening so. It does take him about 5 to 8 laps, and then he really starts cranking up the heat here, now stretching out to almost a second, and I would say Sidnor may have to see if he can extend his pit stop longer than Luke Smith here to see if he can try to match even with him before the final pit stop. So I would wonder if any part of this race they've kind of considered that. Garrett Sidnor having kind of go back to the drawing board here. Starting in 7th, sitting 2nd, not bad here. But I would say something's happened to Davey Hazard. We saw how he was rolling pretty quick. Douglas, did you see anything out there on the track that may have kind of slowed our guy down here?
Did. While we were during the commercial break, it looked like Davey Hazard may have caught the wall a little bit. Just slightly, but it was enough to have him lose all that ground.
All right, we'll see if we can get a little drone footage out there and kind of take a peek at his machine. Looking to see if he's got any visible scrapes. He is wiggling around a little bit there. It looks like he may have a little something over top of that right rear wheel as well. The Martini piece looks a little bent. Hopefully he is able to continue on. He may have to try to have his pit crew pull that out. I'm sure the spotter is keeping an eye on it for any kind of smoke that we may see coming from the machine. As the Super continues to charge ahead. We're seeing if we can find any other drivers out there that might be trying something. I know William Page is not under fire. Darren Ingram is getting pretty close to Austin Hakes. Only about behind him by a little more than a quarter of a second here. But I would say sitting in the double mint gum machine, he's going to be looking to see if he can find just another route. As we sit on board with Darren Ingram, another driver here in the Toyota Supra out there. Not bad. Looking to see. And Douglas, kind of as we sit here with Darren Ingram, as these guys kind of work their way out there on the track, anything you notice that maybe these guys are trying that we haven't seen before?
Nothing really that I haven't have them seen before, but I do notice a couple of guys are trying to run the high line when it comes to trying to find speed. And after all, it does help with speed, but the tire management is going to be horrible on the high side. Right now, it looks like everybody from 9th on back is maintaining that low line just to save those tires a little bit. I think that's why we're seeing the strategy come into play, is just everybody's riding that low line to save tires.
Yeah. You would almost think it's almost the opposite. You know, if you ride the low line, you're going to have a lot more tire wear on the right front than taking maybe a less aggressive line on the top side without having to put as much steering input. So are you kind of suggesting that putting more input down on the inside line for a shorter amount of time, and not rather than taking the high side with less input but for a longer amount of time?
I would say you don't want to put them in for a long period of time. I mean, it's gonna be just who wants to save the more tires? Like who wants to save? You ride the high lane to try and gain some ground, which in some cases people do, but it doesn't manage the tires. But everybody runs that low line to try and save the tires. But the question is, if you ride the low line, how long do you run it?
Okay, so it's probably, you know, when we want to start getting really racy, we'll notice guys almost scrubbing the paint down there. But if we want to maybe think a little more longevity, you'll see right now how Darren Ingram is about another car length off the track, and that does seem to work out a lot better. And we're noticing the cars are a lot more sturdy up there. And would you say, would you agree that really the way this track state is changing here, that now we're seeing these guys starting to push up the track a little bit, looking for more of that grip?
Yeah, they're definitely trying to find some grip. And I've been noticing the line that Luke Smith has been running, and he has actually been running the line perfect. He's trying to maintain that low line a little bit to see if he can save a little bit of those tires. Like right there, you can almost see him getting on the yellow line and then drifting right back up the track to try and gain some more ground. Because on the back straightaway, there's more grip on that high lane. So that's why you see him going low and then high. Yep. He's running a line that's perfect.
Yep, and he's already dealing with a little bit of dirty air there as he gets around Hen Bordeaux, who's sitting 15th, leaving our top 14 drivers still on the lead lap. Krastowski's may have to find another gear to get away here. He's going to be pretty close to going a lap down as well. A couple of more drivers here still shuffling on through. Austin Hakes now dropping down to 10th, as it looks like Zachary Webster in the 95 already flossed on by, seeing if he can find any more speed. But as we keep seeing these drivers getting closer and closer to each other, noticing the passing is taking place a lot faster. We don't see guys really riding behind each other, kind of camping out a little bit, kind of setting them up. Absolutely not. It's almost they sweep, they pass, they get back in line. They sweep, they pass, they get back in line. And no one's really battling much at all out there. Would you say that the driver being passed is not exactly giving up, but strategically letting the place go to fight another day?
Yeah, probably most definitely. And when you see people going side-by-side battle, I mean, yes, when you're on the high lane, you're going to have more of a, what's the word they say? You're going to have more of like rush when it comes to a lot of those cars. They're going to have the advantage because you're going to gain a lot more speed on that outside line than you are on the inside. That's why people get the momentum coming on the outside.
And good line here by Kerry Rogers. We're noticing we dive in a lot deeper into the turn, but not low. We're actually riding into the turn a lot higher, which does give a little sweep here, putting Austin Hakes now going to be possibly into the rearview mirror here. So Hakes high side here as Kerry Rogers works around. Interesting photo down here in the driver detail of what we got here from our Frederick, Maryland driver out there. Certified tomfoolery merchant. Good Lord. I really got a review over what these guys put on here. Holy cow. All right. Well, we get back out there, and right now, you know, as we kind of flow through the rest of this field here, Douglas, I'm noticing that not a whole lot of guys are too very close together. Ooh, check this out. Hen Bordeaux and Davey Hazard coming down.
Decisions.
Hazard coming down a lot earlier than I thought he would. Wonder if that's going to be a little bit of his game plan here. Also, remember he had some of that damage, so he may be trying to fix some of that. Jay out there saying, I'll give you some tomfoolery. All right. Trey Coleman working his way on down. Everybody trying to make sure they check up before they slide past those cones. Sidnor decides not to stay out longer here, Douglas. Good or bad call here?
I wouldn't say it's a good or a bad call. I would say it's an interesting call because when was the last time they pit? I think it was lap 42 Sidnor ended up pitting.
Yep. Yeah, so right now Sidnor pitting, well, he was pitting earlier than later. I think he was 37 and 39 was Luke Smith. So it's going to be a mix-up here because I thought Sidnor may stay out longer to try to see if he can match Smith for the second stint until next pit stop and then try to lengthen it just a little more to see if he can overcome Luke Smith. As you can see, unfortunately, he ended up having to give up some positions here. 76 machine, looks like that machine is rolling on through. Look like J.J. Moore came down in on 48. Yep, that's going to do it. 39 going ahead and coming on down pit. Does Cam Barnes decide to stay out? Yes. 43 machine will resume the lead that we had before. But it was short-lived, unfortunately, until we had to pit as well. So Cam Barnes will actually have the upper hand here as Darren Ingram came in on 36 and Merzlak came in on 37. So these guys may hang out there for another lap or so, and then they'll be having to come down as well. So really kind of a shifty decision here. I would say that these guys have been pushing almost 40 laps out there. And, yep, that's Merzlak coming on down. And Zachary Webster working his way on down. I think Noah Joyce. Yeah, I got to find a telescope to find Noah Joyce out there and see if the Sunoco Toyota is going to come down in the pit. Does not look to be signaling to do so. Whoa. Almost gave a little kiss to that wall there, but that's okay. Noah Joyce trying to make up a little bit of time here. Double mint machine sitting in second. Right now, Cam Barnes is sitting in the number one spot here, and I would say we got a good race here so far with Cam Barnes out front, maybe leading for another 4 to 5 laps here. And boy, now would be a terrible time for a rubbered up track and somebody spinning out here.
As Darren Ingram is now down pit road.
Right, Ingram in the pit box. Right side's going up. Down, come on. Get those guys moving a little faster. Good Lord. There we go. We're at 14 seconds in the box here. Extended amount of time, 15.28. Yuck. Speed up that pit just a little bit. I think they could have done about another half a second faster than everybody else there. Could have had it. So we'll see how it goes as we enter lap number 80. Still led by Cam Barnes out here. Out front, up 7. Kerry Rogers sits second. Noah Joyce is third, but is watching the number 60 drive on around of Joseph Weaver.
It looks like from here, it looks like there are 3 drivers still yet to pit, and it looks like that's Cam Barnes, Kerry Rogers, and Noah Joyce.
Yes. Yep. Right now, those three have yet to pit here. Noah Joyce actually staying out longer than expected. Lap 37 is the last time that vehicle came down. Luke Smith was actually able to get a faster pit stop out there with a 14.82. And Sidnor had a 15.28 and once again came in 2 laps earlier than Luke Smith ended up coming down, which has cost him a 8/10 gap here of reaching out there and grabbing a hold of him here. Unfortunately, that is not going to play out well here for Sidnor, as Sidnor may, at the end, if this thing stays green, almost being 3.5 seconds down. Now, how do you make up a gap like that, Douglas? I mean, we're going to have to rely on some pit strategy here?
I know some people can end up saying different things. The top thing is pit strategy, yes. Another thing could be people could be banking on a caution for who knows when.
Boy, we come out with a caution. I would say this kind of flips everything on its head here. I hope that everybody is on the lead lap when if a caution does come out. I almost said if and when, almost like I was guaranteeing a caution. We have been cautionless for 83 laps here so far during this race. So this is excellent racing here so far. As Douglas, you have been in a few leagues out there that have yellow fever, if not demolition derby kind of style driving out there at times.
Yes, I have. I have experienced it all.
All right, man. Well, definitely our Talladega winner here, Douglas Ross, with the expert input that we have here. Sitting alongside me here with SimTrax Broadcasting, coming to you live here with the USORL League. We are just over halfway through this race. Cam Barnes, Kerry Rogers, Luke Smith sitting 1, 2, and 3. Smith well ready to regain the lead here. 25 seconds back, but we are still watching those two in the front have yet to pit, and we're waiting when that's going to happen. Does look right now. Yeah, go ahead. I want you to talk about Hazard here a little bit with that 18.5 second pit stall time.
Yeah, Davey Hazard definitely did not like what he's seen on pit road. 18-second pit stall strategy. That's just whoa. He's probably not happy as of the moment.
Well, remember he had that nudge to the wall that you indicated out there, so pulling that fender off just a hair there may save his race in the long run. Unfortunately, it does sit him behind Trey Coleman. He's got to, he's got to do a little math out there for a 3-second deficit. He's going to be suffering if he wants to get for a top 3 finish here tonight. If this thing continues going the way that it does, but I've got to admit, I'm starting to kind of look over at our times here. 43 laps is when we pit here for Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers. And we have made it almost 43 more.
That is impressive. And actually, as we talk about it right now, Cam Barnes is coming down pit road.
Yep. All right. There we go. So they are running it to where these things are on fumes. And then they're working their way in. Unfortunately, it did allow Luke Smith to gain at least 6 seconds before he was... before these guys did come down. So a couple of different shuffle-ups there. J.J. Moore working on down pit road as well. We want to make sure we give J.J. Moore a little bit of a light here in the NOS machine as he is sitting, unfortunately, down in the 16th spot. Having a tough time out here tonight. 3 drivers, though, a quick update, have taken it back to the garage, and a notable one, William Page.
That sucks for William Page fans. He was running a really good race, too.
Yeah. Well, William Page and Blake Viken. These guys were top 5 drivers most of the night here and have both checked out. Blake Viken came in on lap 29. That ended it for him. And William Page came in on 78, and that ended it for him. Boy, yeah, William Page just hopped out. We were looking at the 42 Mellow Yellow machine, and then he's poof, not showing anything out here saying what happened to the 42. Hoping nothing bad, or we had any kind of power outages there. I know during the kind of the mid-east here, we've got some interesting weather rolling through. I'm hoping that's not a disconnect that we saw. John Peterson offset pitting here. He's working his way down. Now he's 15th. As Hen Bordeaux goes ahead and makes the pass. Yep, that is actually Hen Bordeaux sitting behind the 5th place driver of Austin Hakes. Interesting drive here so far, Douglas, and really, you know, when drivers get out here and they start putting down these laps. I know they're going through them about 30 seconds a lap. You know, I would still say drivers do start getting slightly tired, and this is where the mistakes start happening. Guys just have a lapse in judgment. Somebody hammers the wall. Yeah, a couple different things can happen out there, but you already see what this has done for Davey Hazard and how tight this league is. His Hazard is already off by 4 seconds before he can find Trey Coleman. So that is almost a deal breaker for his race team out there if he's going to be able to recover without a caution having to come out.
And right now, unfortunately, I think when it comes to Davey Hazard, I think his only chance is really to get a caution right now, because he's almost 8.5 seconds back from the leader right now. So I think his only shot at getting back up there is probably with a caution.
I would say the sacrificial left side tires as well. If he comes down pit, may be able to shave off 4 seconds, but that would only slide him into a podium position. I don't believe it'll get him the win. So Hazard is going to have to really have to chat with his crew here and figure out what they're going to do to make up some ground here. I would say Austin Hakes is another driver as well. They may want to might want to think some pit strategy to fight his way up there. A couple of guys have been really having a difficult time here tonight to find that fast line out there on the track. Right now, Sidnor having no problem, sitting in second right now, only 1.7 seconds off. I was looking to see who's in the machine behind him. I believe it should be. Is that the 31? Yeah, that's Noah Joyce. That's what I thought it was, and I was trying to figure out Noah Joyce up there. Sitting behind our second place driver. He's sitting in 13th. So it does go to show you how much of a little bit of a mix-up we have as I put our positions up there on our track map. We got a couple of guys shuffling around out there. I think Luke Smith has the number 4 of Zach Krastowski, who's sitting in 12th behind him.
We had a good battle going on right there for spot number 5, it looked like. It looks like Steven Merzlach ended up passing Austin Hakes for the number 5 spot.
Bro. Really? All right. Man, Douglas, you see that, you say, hey, man, we got passing happening out there on the track. No more of this follow the leader kind of stuff. All right, well, we'll stick with these guys. As Merzlach, Hakes, and Webster, these guys are at least the closest ones together. I think squeezed within almost 0.4 of a second of each other. It looks like Webster getting ready to make a show out of it, though. Hakes gets knocked out of the top 5, sits in 6th now. He's going to be, ooh, boy, it almost looked like he was voluntarily opting for 7th. Not Hakes. A little scrub to the wall there. Take a look here. Looks like Austin Hakes is going to be keeping that higher line. 95, still feeling confident down on the bottom line.
Zachary Webster wants it too. He's not letting off.
Yeah, not bad here. Right now, Webster with a slide move there.
He clears him.
Hakes not cross him over and go for it again. Now the separation. Boy, yeah, look at Hakes. Good reel in though. It's almost where your confidence level starts to build. Look how close you can reel him in. Oh, Hakes hard on the brakes.
Oh man.
Obviously Zachary Webster, something happened on that turn. And good job there by Hakes. Right now, I guarantee you Webster might shake his hand after the race on that one. That was close. So, all right, Douglas, now let's get your recap here as we've got 50 laps left to go in this race. Here with the JEG 200 with the USORL League. How's this race looking so far? Do you see a caution happening later on? And what driver should we really keep an eye on that may take might be the upset here of where they sit now?
As of right now, with the way that racing's been going on, 100 laps in, not having a caution, I'm very, very impressed right now. So I think right now, the chances of a caution coming out right now are very, very unlikely with the way that everybody is spread out. And Luke Smith definitely is in his own groove, but just in case if we do get a caution for some apparent reason, I would not count out Garrett Sidnor or even Trey Coleman, who's sitting back in spot number 3. Those two guys definitely put on a heck of a race. And also, back in spot number 4, we also can't forget Davey Hazard. He was in the mix for some of the night. We definitely can't count out that 75 car tonight.
All right, well, 75 out there, one of my favorite numbers out there on the race car and racing a Toyota Supra. I would say he's a copycat to me, but that's okay. I'm just giving Davey hell. But well, that's all right. But right now, I'm waiting to see if Davey Hazard can come up with anything, and is somebody going to dare to change their pit strategy to mix it up here? If Davey Hazard takes enough fuel to make it to the end and a set of right side tires, he could put himself back in the mix up front. But
and you also can't forget that a 2-tire strategy may even be the call of the night. Anybody who wants to bank on 2 tires, it's a strategy call. Will you have the grip that you probably will have on 4 tires? Probably not, but it's a chance you got to take.
yeah, and right now, with at least 2 pit stops down, you know the teams and the crews have been studying what those tires look like after that last run. Have they started wearing them out? Is the left rear tire suffering more than the right rear tire? And is it really a strategy they should or should not take here? Because if they are dropping off, a quarter of the tire heading into pit, and we're noticing that's not going to make it, you can't shave it off where we only have half life in these tires, and there's just not enough. They're not going to be enough to maintain speed or be fast out there on the track. So really, he's going to have to weigh his options here. And I would say Davey Hazard, I think, would probably agree with you. I think would be an upset, but he's going to have to sacrifice some tires to really get back into the mix.
Absolutely.
All right, 45 laps left to go here at the JEG 200 at Nashville Super Speedway. I gotta admit, I'm really happy we're at the Speedway and not at the Fairground. That may have been like a mini Martinsville out there. That's okay. Guys, if you want to join the USORL League, okay, Douglas, how easy is it?
It would actually be pretty easy. I mean, I actually viewed how to join the USORL League, and it's actually pretty simple. I mean, you do have to fill out a form. You have to meet certain expectations to join the league. I think that their expectations is you got to have a safety rating of at least 2.0. That's my guess, and I'm not sure about the iRating cap, but these guys definitely know what they're doing out there. They're definitely skilled drivers.
Oh yeah, but I just mean you were able to get the invite, you were able to get loaded in, you were invited to the league, we got you into the Discord, and you're technically, right now, you're ready to race. You're ready to go.
That's most definitely. So, I mean, it's a pretty easy outcome. And also, if you guys are very unsure about, the USORL does have a website that you can go to. I'm pretty sure that there will be a link somewhere in their Facebook where you can go and fill out the stuff that you need to fill out. They do have a website. I think it's www.usorl.com, and it's very easy to sign up.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll definitely make sure to see if we can get you the links out there on our SimTrack broadcasting website as well. In case you were unable to find theirs, you can find ours, and to get linked up with these guys. I'm noticing already one little stumble here. Oh man! All right, here we go. Look and see if Cam Barnes is doing out there. In the 97 Chevrolet, looks like he's flossing around another driver. Trying to put Mr. Webster behind him. He does. And now Darren Ingram will now set up. But you'll be able to come out here and join the league. And like I said, the only little problem I see Hoagland down there is 19. I got a spot for 20th, and then we should be able to cycle through our top 20 drivers. Guys, go ahead, get out here. I'm sure, let me tell you, it's 10 times more fun when we got 30 out here. It's even crazier. Definitely guys smashing each other together and definitely doing some great racing. There will be more chance for mistakes out there when bad things start happening. More cars get out there, but you can definitely, I would say, make it a little more racy. And we may possibly have the possibility of actually seeing Jay Tway out there in the chat, actually behind the wheel here. So we'll be holding on the edge of our seat and see when we can see that. Davey Hazard, Austin Hakes, Darren Ingram, Joseph Weaver coming down pit, and now Sid Norris coming down with Trey Coleman, leaving Luke Smith out there. No changes here, and no different strategies from our drivers who came down. Looks like Davey Hazard, 4 tires and fuel, and another 18.5-second pit stop for him.
And if that was a real pit crew, they'd probably be fired.
Or work on Denny Hamlin's crew. All right, Luke Smith working his way on down. As now Merzlach has the lead for the first time here tonight. So the Simrat Market Machine is making it happen. This will make 14 spots gained for him here tonight. And Barnes
Definitely.
is second. Zachary Webster is third. And Douglas, boy, here we go. Yeah, or Logano. Yeah, that's all right. I'd rather Logano's team have lead shoes. Anyway. Way to go, Patrick. That's the way to get a professional contract. All right. Let's see how it's going. Right now, Sidnor is up to speed. Luke Smith. Boy. I want to talk about taking the wind right out of your sails there. Sidnor setting off. Luke Smith by 3.6 seconds. I think it's going to plateau there. Now, Luke Smith getting ready to drive away with this one. Sidnor wants to see if he can reach out and touch him, but I don't think he's going to have it.
Looks like we have a couple more drivers coming down pit road. It looks like Steven Merzlach and Zachary Webster. Looks like they're coming down pit road.
All right, and to no surprise, Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers are going to remain out there. Let's say the stint that they had last time, we may actually see them come in. Boy, we try to slice this up a little bit. I mean, do you really think they could go to 130?
It's quite possible, but the grip is going to be gone.
Yeah, 40 laps from 87 puts us at that 127 mark, and they went 43 laps each time. Good Lord, be able to come down with 20 laps to go and putting tires on it. I'm just wondering if their strategy has been working out here so far, or do they come down and pit now? They know they've got enough fuel to make it to the end here.
Maybe that's the reason why Cam Barnes and Kerry Rogers, they try to extend it out for a longer period of time to see if they can try and extend the laps a little bit on their tires and fuel. Because not only is tires going to play a factor, but fuel may end up playing the factor as well for this third of the race.
Yeah, but they still run. I mean, right now, Luke Smith is running 32nd times, and here we go. Yep, Cam Barnes coming on down. Right now, his last time was a 31.46. I'd almost say, okay, we know it'll go 43 laps, but we don't need to go 43 laps. Now we can come in, get the tires, get enough fuel to make it to the end, and ham jam slam. Let's go. We can drive a lot more aggressive now because we knew what it would do after 43 laps. So now really he's only got to make it about 35, so he could actually apply more pressure and pick up a lot more pace here. So Cam Barnes already slamming tires on that car. Luke Smith regains the lead. Garrett Sidnor and Trey Coleman 1, 2, and 3. Not bad here so far as these guys are shuffling their way out of pit road. Whoop, Kerry Rogers gets cut off. Zachary Webster on the high side on the racing surface, and these two guys sitting 9th and 10th are going to be chasing them down. Hazard still has a top 5 though, but I think he's going to be under a lot of pressure. Darren Ingram sits in front of him. Austin Hakes in the 28 machine right behind, and Steven Merzlak, not a bad pit stop time. 14.97 slings back out and sits 7th. But as we get these guys mushing each other back and forth, we've seen at super speedways that it normally takes 3 to 4 guys to start making up ground. Is there a chance that these guys work with each other until maybe 5 to go and then really start passing each other and start making moves knowing that there's probably not enough time to continue?
I mean, it's quite possible you could end up seeing people as a possible helping hand, but I mean, you're probably right. I mean, at this length of the race, it's probably going to be no give, no take when it comes to that. And it looks like we had a driver get loose off of pit road. Was that JJ Moore in the 76?
Yeah, I think so. Yep, that's him. Somebody slid coming out of pit road there. Whoop. Looks like he's revisiting pit road. That might be possibly for his 5th time here tonight. Let's get back up to Hazard, as right now that was Merzlak passing Hakes out there. Hakes sitting back a little bit. Cam Barnes. Remember I was talking about a little bit earlier, we can be a little bit faster. Through section 1, we now turn to 14.91. That is the fastest of anybody else on the track. And I think he knows he's got the power, he's got the time. Let's make it happen. Originally, Cam Barnes was sitting in the 8th position. Oh my gosh. Out of the best times out there, he is the only driver to hit 29 seconds.
Oh, wow.
29.96. Cam Barnes is on a roll here. Hopefully he doesn't burn him off too soon, but if he's got the life in the tires, make it happen.
The question is he going to have enough time? Because Cam Barnes is he's about 16 seconds back from Luke Smith. So the question is he going to have enough time?
Maybe not. I would probably say not for the win, but maybe for a top 5, he's going to go for it. I mean, if you think about it, Darren Ingram sitting 4th is only 2.3 seconds ahead of him. So he may be going for it, and I don't blame him. Might as well, as these guys are trying their best to stay out there and for the longest time. Right now, Austin Hakes sitting 7th. Sitting behind the Simrap market machine there of Steven Merzlak. Smith leading this race. Looks like it's all but smooth sailing for him to the end, as he's got a 4-second lead over Garrett Sidnor, who sits 2nd. Trey Coleman is 3rd. All right, pretty quiet out there in the chat tonight, guys. I am watching over there to see what you've got going on. I see Jay out there recommending Logano. Yep, I'm trying to see what we got going on. Looking to see how Steven Merzlak does. It looks like he gets about a fender underneath Davey Hazard there. Does not get him, though. Almost looked like he decided not to pass her, Douglas.
I definitely hesitated there for a little bit.
Any idea as to why you would not make a pass?
I really have no guesses on that one, unfortunately.
All right. Well, we'll rotate back here to Cam Barnes again. Remember I said he was the fastest one out there on the track. Has revisited back here with Zachary Webster. These two have been racing against each other all night here tonight. Next time by is 25 to go. There it is. Ooh, sorry, we're getting out there as we're taking a little bit of a peek here at the 95 machine. Zachary Webster getting loose. And I believe Noah Joyce says just came off the track there. I don't know if we sliced a little too close to the grass. Race Control will have their eyeballs out there on that.
Actually, it doesn't look like he was coming out of the pits or anything, because I was watching the replay. He just got way too loose coming out of turn 4.
All right, 4th driver to go ahead and check out here tonight, J.J. Moore. And the 76 Toyota is cashed out for tonight. Very close here. Take a look at the 71 machine of Steven Merzlak. I think he's going to go for the fifth spot here. He wants definitely a top 5 finish. Especially after starting outside the top 10. There it is. Quick slice. Hazard makes his stumbles there, fumbles, and there to pick up the ball is Steven Merzlak as he slides on by. Now, who else? Look who's in it. Austin Hakes and Cam Barnes. Joyce working away down pit. Yeah, right now Cam Barnes starting to really get going here. Still, Cam Barnes is 0.3 of a second faster than our leader out there. With 22 to go. 97 really pushing it in there. Getting underneath of Austin Hakes, letting him know, hey man, move out of the way. Barnes now to 7th. Boy, you would hate to see Cam Barnes make a drive like this here, Douglas, and then right at the end, just run out of tire and everybody smoke past him. So I really hope he is still taking care of those tires out there. Let's check out Darren Ingram as he's now, I believe, he's applying pressure out there.
Ingram's definitely trying to make something happen for that number 4 spot. He's trying to hold off Steven Merzlak the best he can, but he's doing a good job on holding them off. Oh, and we have a battle right there for spot number 6. Cam Barnes is right now trying to make the pass on Davey Hazard, and it looks like Barnes is going to have the momentum on the outside. Like I said, Cam Barnes now going to move into spot number 6.
Boy, one by one, Cam Barnes is quickly moving through this field. I would say he's probably going to stall out as soon as he can get up to Ingram. Not bad here so far, and as these two continue to battle in front with Ingram and Merzlak, that's only allowing Barnes to catch up. Barnes needs to make up 1 second to find these two, and that may be very, very tough here. Do want to give a shout out there to Luke Smith. We do like the way he is leading this race, but he is not really in being contested out there. He's just kind of out there doing his thing, as right now I believe that is Hen Bordeaux sitting right behind him. Hen Bordeaux has got up to 13th spot. Unfortunately, 2 laps down, but right back where we qualified from, so that'll be a good points night. As we continue to race, Noah Joyce, 2 minutes in the box. That may be it for Noah out there. Ray Coleman sits third. Let's get back to Ingram. Uh-oh, Davey Hazard. Hazard getting loose as everybody's taking the rear downforce off his car behind. Webster and Hakes are doing a little bit of bobbing and weaving there, so he's really got to figure out how to drag that brake. Coming out of the turn, unfortunately. Check back in on Merzlak. Merzlak taking a look here to the inside of Ingram. Can he get him here?
I can tell you what, he definitely wants the position, but it looks like Ingram keeps cutting him off right in that corner.
Yeah, I expect Merzlak to give him a little, an unfriendly shove there. He does that one more time. How you stay under well-disciplined after getting cut off like that and not giving somebody a nudge. You really got to kind of tip your hat to the guy who's sitting behind. Because he could ruin your night. He could definitely shove you up into the wall, but Merzlak going ahead and looking to fight another day here, as I believe Zachary Webster and Hakes are still going at it.
And while we're talking about that, look who snuck into the picture for spot number 5, Cam Barnes. He has found it, and he has made the pass for spot number 5.
Yep, still in the chase here. Cam Barnes saw Merzlak slacking off a little bit, and now he is on full attack. Cam Barnes not bad here, man. 15 laps left to go, but is he going to be able to hold it as he's got Ingram well in the crosshairs here?
Definitely got the momentum on Ingram, but he's probably going to make the pass probably here in the turn number 3 as back straightaway, good speed. And it looks like, he's going to take him on to the high side to try to gain a little bit more speed to make that pass. But Ingram, he's just got the grip down below.
Yeah, not bad there by Cam Barnes. There's going to be the little switch up. But that last move, if he was able to make the pass, Cole Trickle would have been impressed. Outside line, yes. 97 going to try to squeeze that 21 on. But no can do. 97 still going to push on through. He's going to have to dive deep into 3 here if he wants to hold on to this spot.
Ooh, there may have been a little contact.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Plenty of contact between those two. And back once again, Cam Barnes now having to duck behind Merzlak. Top on top of Steven Merzlak's car here with 13 to go. Now we're starting to get racy here at the final ending. Hakes has fallen all the way down to 9th. Gary Rogers, who came in the same time that Cam Barnes did, is not having as much success out there on the track. Barnes securing himself a top 5 here. Merzlak following behind. I wonder if Barnes is starting to burn out here and he's got nothing left. Just as I say that, look how Barnes dives into the turn here. Taking another shot here at Darren Ingram. Ingram wants to hold on to 4th. Still another 13 miles left in this race that they've got to complete. These Xfinity cars here in the USORL League. The Jag 200 coming to an end here very soon in about 11 some odd laps here. With Steven Merzlak, we are taking an eye here, sitting in 6th. Whoa, the 97 looking to see if he can loosen up the 21 there. Notice how he only took the air off the left rear of that car. I thought that was a good chance for Darren Ingram to come loose there. There it is. There's the bump. There's the bump. 97 to the inside. Cam Barnes taking a look.
Cam Barnes definitely wants that inside line, as that is the line that he is going to have to take if he wants to make the pass past Ingram.
Yeah, he's going to start sending it into him. There it is. Bump again. Bump again. Yes. Right now, Cam Barnes is letting that 21 machine know, hey, I've got it. But good blocking so far by Darren Ingram. This does not seem to be phasing Ingram at all, though. As we take a look back from Ingram, Chevy Camaro of Cam Barnes, who's been on the roll here most of the night. Luke Smith out front by 6 seconds over top of Garrett Sidnor. Here comes Doink. Bump there. Once again. Yeah, you can't blame him one bit here. I would say Cam Barnes is letting him know, but he knows that Barnes can't go to the outside, but Barnes is going to do it anyway. He's going to try. He's going to need a good outside turn to see if he can get a solid swap over, and he had lost a boatload of time with that turn. And Douglas, all right, you think he's able to reattack and go for him here?
Oh, this definitely ain't over. Cam Barnes, he's not going to stop until he gets that position.
We've seen before drivers like this actually slack off a little bit to try to get a different aerodynamic edge. And if they're able to reel him in and pass him at the right time, they may try to go at it again. It seems to slack off just a little bit there. We'll check back in on Zachary Webster, who's behind Davey Hazard. Hazard dropping now down to 7th with 7 to go. Right now, all Luke Smith's race. Look at some of the timing. Davey Hazard coming in on 109. That'll give him 41 laps that he's going to have to run to make it to the end. Great race here so far, seeing that it's been caution-free the entire time. Merzlak taking a look here to the inside, Cam Barnes. Top 5 now starting to slip away from Barnes. 97 Chevrolet about to meet the backside there of the 71. 97 not going to be able to hold low line this time as they slice down the backstretch. Right now, 5 to go. Right now, has Cam Barnes burned up those tires?
Like Merzlak's definitely got the inside line, and it looks like he will complete the pass for spot number 5.
Yep, Steven Merzlak, not bad here. And to talk about being patient and waiting, sat behind the 97 of the hard-charging Cam Barnes and kind of let him burn his stuff up all the way to that point. I would almost wonder if Cam Barnes has any damage to the front nose of that car And that may be what's caused him to slow down a bit here. Yeah, because Cam Barnes is now starting to roll pretty slow. About 2/10 slower than Merzlak. Check our times as we cross the line. Yeah, only a 10th slower than Merzlak. This time it's Merzlak. Wow. Almost 2 became 1 there. As Cam Barnes tries to send it into 1. And right now, Stella out there in the chat. Merzlak knows how to win at this track. Definitely, he's really running it here, though. Taking a look at some of our drivers out there have really been plowing out there. It's, obviously, the previous winner, these guys have not been. Oh, there you go, Stella. You're saying it out there. Season 9 winner, yes. I was going to say, these guys have not actually been to this track since Season 9, where Steven Merzlak was the winner of this track. But it does not look like that's going to go his way this time. He's just looking to hold on to a top 5. That's not bad. Ingram getting away and seeming to secure this. So this race is all but over here for Luke Smith as he crosses the line this time by. White flag is out here at the Jeg 200. Great job here by Luke Smith in the 39 Chevrolet. And Douglas, looks like this has been all his race here so far. Great pit stops. Great calls, great driving, and this looks like he's going to be coming away with the win.
Most definitely, Luke Smith was is definitely the car to beat tonight. Was the car to beat tonight. Here he comes off of turn number 4, and it looks like the winner here at Nashville Superspeedway. Give it to Luke Smith. Second spot will Garrett Sindor will be in spot number 2, and finishing off the podium positions will be Trey Coleman in spot number 3.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Luke Smith coming away with the win at the Jeg 200 in the USORL League. Last winner here of this race, Steven Merzlak, does finish in 5th. And Cam Barnes was finishing about half a second behind him, so unable to finally finish that top 5. Ah, that's a friendly bump. 97 telling him good race there. As we continue this race, right now Austin Hakes sitting 10th. So he was able to at least get a top 10, started in 11th. And Jay out there rooting on, or Kermit. There he is. Not bad there, not bad at all. You gotta admit, when you get in a race like this, you know, how in the world do you think you're gonna make it to the end, and how do guys survive? These guys definitely showed you how to get it done. Yeah, not bad at all. Bill Harkins out there saying it was a great race out there. I would agree with you. That was definitely excellent racing. And everybody out here tonight, caution-free the entire race. I mean, that's just absolutely mind-blowing. I believe we had a caution-free race the other day there, Stella, over there at Rockingham. No one would have figured that one. Alrighty. Go ahead and get to our final race here. You can find out where all your guys finished. I know we only had about 19 drivers. If you're looking to join up here, guys, USORL League, you can get it. They were running a truck series on Thursdays. We'll be covering them at the beginning of their playoffs. Should be at the beginning of next month. And we are going to go ahead and cover these guys in the Xfinity machines for this entire season. That'll be exciting. Yeah, 2 nights in a row, caution-free racing. Right now, that's looking pretty good. Can we do 3? That's going to require Nora to go ahead and have a great race. Yeah, even Davey Hazard out there saying, yep, he smacked the wall. Trust me. My eyes in the sky here of Douglas did not miss you doing it. He saw you smack the wall. All right, everybody, hold on just a moment. We'll go ahead and catch up here and see if we can talk to our guys. All righty, we catch up with our third place finisher, Trey Coleman. What a race here, man. Bet you didn't think this one was going green all the way.
Oh, not at all, man. I mean, I'm basically wrecked myself on the initial start. I was trying to beat Luke into turn one and just said, "Oh well, I'm gonna spin probably, so let me just correct this thing up the track and drop back into fifth." I was able to get by Blake a little bit later in that first run, but the guys set up this number 14 Woe Air Chevrolet Camaro really well. I'd like to give a special thanks to Zach Krastowski and everybody on the team. Uh, Sean Whitehill, my old owner at Riverfront Motorsports, Randall Coleman. But I really enjoyed the race. I was a little bit conservative on the pit cycles coming into the pits, but I think it worked out in the end.
Is there anything you could have done to try to upset Luke Smith here, or did he just have the setup tonight?
No. I mean, maybe if I started and stayed in second for that first run, I could have just learned a little bit of what he was doing. But once I fell back to fifth early and then eventually got back up to fourth, that basically was it for me. Maybe a little bit of a short pitting strategy might have gotten me there, but raw speed, no way. No way. He was class of the field.
All right. Well, I would say this is a caution-free race. Next time, my gut tells me we're going to have a caution-filled race. Martinsville will be kicking off on 8:31 as we will be off next week for the Track and Turf 200. How do we handle Martinsville without mashing the car to pieces?
Keep your bumper on it. I mean, it's gonna be tough. I know it's gonna have a lot of wrecks in the first half of the race. There's no way it's going green, so it's just gonna be about like managing your aggressiveness enough to remain in a solid position, maybe in the top five. If we can qualify well, then we should be completely fine. And I believe the guys in this 14 team can do it. I thought today was kind of a special race here at Nashville. I mean, my birthday was just a few days ago, so it was kind of a good gift for me to get a good finish here. And I think we'll take some momentum into Martinsville in 2 weeks.
Oof, man, and that's I would say that is going to be a tough schedule that we've got upcoming, and hope to see that you can capitalize on that. But while I got you in here, man, you got most of your shout outs out, but you got anybody else out here watching you or any other sponsors?
Just want to thank my parents. Thank Darren Ingram for his good driving on the last run. He kind of kept all the fresh tire guys back at bay. It was fun racing with Davey Hazard there early in the race and Garrett Sidner as well. He ran an awesome race and wasn't quite able to catch him, but he ran an awesome race. And Luke, congrats on the win as well.
All righty, Trey, congratulations on a third place finish here, man. Tough track and definitely had the tire conserve, and we'll see how you do at Martinsville.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Yep. All right, that's going to do it for Trey Coleman, our third place finisher. Douglas Ross is catching up with Garrett Sidnor here, and we're going to see what they have to say.
Yeah, we're catching up with Garrett Sidnor right now. Sorry to cut you off there, Garrett. You definitely had a very strong race. The competitive car all night was the 39. Is there any like strategy call that you could have probably played different to try and catch Luke there?
I don't know if catching would be the word, but maybe could have thrown two there on the last stop. But I mean, he was the best car to beat all night, and I just felt like regardless of what I could have done, I just felt like he was going to click off every lap on me anyway, whatever strategy I was on. So, and that's kind of the advantage of the leaders. Once everybody else pits, it's like, oh, well, then I can come down. So, yeah, he definitely had the house to himself tonight, and I couldn't really get up there and do anything with it. Even when I was up in front of that, I think the second round of stops, I was in front of him for a little bit, and it didn't last too long once he got by. So, but yeah, good win at 39 crew, and my team owner's face is on the hood of that car, so there is that too. So.
Like Patrick said tonight, we had a cautionless race the entire night. It was a very good, fun-filled race. Going into August 31st, we are heading into the paperclip Martinsville Speedway. Tell us, what are your feelings going into that track?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous. I definitely think short tracks in general just produce more excitement, more entertainment, but also more chaos and cautions. So I think Martinsville is going to be a race, especially no fast repairs in the cup side of things. Just got to keep it clean and survive. Really is the only thing I could say. It's definitely not one of my stronger tracks, so it'll just be kind of, holding out for a hero at the end of that one. But yeah, we're off next week for the big series being at Daytona, and go get them in our stuff at Martinsville.
Yes, indeed. Is there anybody you want to thank tonight for getting you to your top 3 finish tonight? I'm pretty sure you got some shout outs you would like to give out.
Yeah, absolutely. John Peterson always putting beautiful paint schemes on the racetrack, and the Love Travel Stop Ford, PK and Freeze on the hood tonight, and Rudy Bush Generators, Forest Glory Art and Photography, Mom, Dad, all the ones that support and love my stuff, and Front Row Motorsports, and yeah, that's everybody off the top of my head.
And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is Garrett Sidnor, your second place finisher tonight. Patrick, I'm going to take it back up to you. Is there anything you would like to add?
None much, man. Garrett, congratulations on your second place finish, man. I wasn't sure if there was any lengthening of the amount of pit stops. That way you could try to offset Luke Smith here tonight. But boy, we got a schedule coming up. We got Martinsville. We'll have Talladega after that, and then Darlington. So I'm sure there's one on there you got to be circling, and you don't sound too confident in Martinsville. So that's that kind of draws my line here.
Yeah, obviously, just Martinsville in general, hard-breaking track. But Talladega's a wild card. Anybody can go up there and win it. But obviously, that place holds a very special spot in my heart. And Darlington's going to be a new one for us on iRacing. I don't think we've done it yet. So, yeah, looking forward to what we got going forward. I think we got definitely some tough tracks coming up and some chaotic ones for sure. But yeah, have fun at it.
All right, Garrett. Good luck, man. We'll let you get to practicing, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's going to do it for Garrett Sidnor. And now we move on to Kermit here. Let's get on to Luke Smith, as this race was all you here tonight. Didn't seem you had any doubt in your mind about winning this race here, Luke. So talk to me about what was the winning strategy?
Well, I just saved my tires, and I had good short run speed. I felt like as it got later in the run, we kind of all evened out, but I was able to manage the tires while being faster on the short run than them, and I knew that it was kind of no doubt once we got later in the run that they weren't going to catch back up to me, and I just had to pit within a couple laps of them and not get cycled around and have somebody in front of me. As long as I held my track position, I knew I had it.
I would say the lack of cautions tonight would also be a definite factor in the win here tonight. If we'd mushed everybody back together with some offset pitting, this could definitely have turned this race a lot more difficult and maybe not in your favor here tonight.
Oh yeah, that would have thrown a whole wrench in everything, and probably would have gotten cycled around and potentially put in a bad spot there with everybody who was running different strategies and all that tire-wise.
All right, well, here, even in the broadcast booth, not a whole lot of light was put on you here tonight as you drove and won this race by over 6.5 seconds. I do have to say, we'll probably see a lot more of you at Martinsville next race that we see you here at the end of the month. And kind of, I would say, whoever is sponsoring the caution flag is going to get their money's worth there. What in the world can you do to maybe go back-to-back wins?
Well, I feel like I'm pretty good at these tracks where you got to get in a rhythm and kind of hook the bottom and, keep that rhythm and not slide the tires very much. Most of it will be track position and just keeping myself out of those bad spots where somebody can get into me or cause me to spin out or do something silly like that.
Yeah. I've heard if you're in the front row of Martinsville, you got a good chance of making it to the end. If you're even in the second or third row, everyone's kind of plowing from behind, and you're nothing but an obstacle. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But man, we've seen crazy stuff. Fortunately, after that, we'll be at Talladega, where man, it's just a matter of finding your teammates, drafting, and making that pass along the dogleg. It appears to be all the way at the end, as I've got a fellow Talladega winner here in the booth with me tonight. But what in the world could have gone wrong tonight for you? Was there any fumble out of the 39 Chevrolet? As we scored on the pole tonight, we were the winner tonight. We were the leader of the most laps tonight. I mean, this just seemed to be kind of not exactly a Cinderella story, but almost a dream here for you to run this race here tonight.
Oh, I mean, I came into practice and I wasn't feeling super confident in practice, and then I put down the qualifying lap and I kind of said to myself, I was like, I think there's a chance here. And then we got into the race, and I realized all those lap times from practice and all that stuff, they were all buffed out, just people running as fast as they possibly could. And I knew that at tracks like this, I'm really good at saving tires, and the only way I feel like I could have screwed myself up was doing something silly on pit road, like missing my pit box or speeding or missing the entry, which I've done at this track before. I've sped on the entry to pit road and slid out the back, which took away another win. So I'm just glad I put together a complete race and, you know, felt like I didn't make any mistakes and felt like I put myself in the best position possible.
Beautiful. All right, shout out time. Floor is yours.
Well, first off, the most important one, I'd like to shout out the face that's on my hood. That is John Peterson. He painted this car. It looks fantastic and it's awesome. Like to thank the guys at BRE, Barnes Racing Enterprises. They have me on their team and they got confidence in me to go out each week and compete. And I'd also like to thank the JPR guys. You know, we threw up a practice before the race and we were able to get some seat time in and put everything together and make sure that we were ready for the race and not showing up with no experience or no idea what the track is going to run like. And I'd like to thank you guys most for putting on this broadcast. I'll definitely go back and watch it.
All right, buddy. There was a little bit of things going on out there, and we'll try to get a few more drivers out there on the track as well. I think that'll definitely mix it up a lot more, especially if you're not having a great night. You still got people to race against. All right.
Oh yeah.
Luke Smith, appreciate you, man. Congratulations on your win here at the Jag 200, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Thank you.
All right, Douglas. Fantastic race here tonight. Caution-free all the way. What an awesome job here it was by the USORL League and the Bandit Racing League actually on Wednesday for absolutely no cautions. So far, we only got one league in a week that is yet to get no cautions, and we'll hold Nora to that. Douglas, any final words here before we sign off and send our fans to bed here?
It was good, hard, action-packed racing all night, and looking forward to 2 weeks for Martinsville. So hope you guys enjoyed the show there.
Alrighty, everybody. The paperclip is up next. One of the very fine Virginia tracks out there. I've got to say, they've got at least 3. We should have Martinsville, Bristol, and Richmond. All right. So that's going to go ahead and do it for us here at Simtrax Broadcasting, bringing you the USORL League. Be well, be safe, be kind, and we'll see all you guys next time.